Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
Till we can't beat beat.
Till we can't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Today's starting lineups brought to you by Mr. Sub. Fresh thinking is what we are, and Steve Taylor gets the call at quarterback for the second straight week. Taylor has 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, including 2 ICs last week.
To the outside linebacking spot. He's only 6'1", 195 pounds, and I know the Ticats feel that like they can maybe run against this linebacking core, and they had success on their first rush.
A gain of 17 as Taylor goes to the air. He's on target. And down inside the 10-yard line. Ball squirted loose and right into the hands of Larry Thompson. They rolled it a touchdown to Larry the rest of the way.
And you're going to get a good look at Kalen Hall splitting the seam down the weak side, and that's what the formation did. They overloaded to the wide side, and then you hope you get this backside. Kalen Hall with his 51st catch, and see what kind of a contribution he's made. And you know, Ticats need a lucky break here to begin the game. Larry Thompson with the fumble recovery and the touchdown. But for a team who's struggled, all of a sudden you get your #1 back in the game, and he makes an impact play right away. Steve Taylor gets off to a good start with the pass completion, and you get the lucky break with Larry Thompson. I mean, that's 3 good things on 1 play, and Hamilton's off to a great start.
Everything went right on that play for the Tiger Cats.
It just hasn't been a focal point for Hamilton, but now with Mike Farragelli as their offensive coordinator, they're looking more that way.
This time, Taylor will pass. He'll have the first down to Manny Hazard, but there's a marker down in the Ticat backfield, and it looks like Reggie Rogers offered a bit of a late hit on Taylor. The Pirates in the neighborhood. 2nd and 24 Ticats at the Shreveport 35. Taylor operating from the shotgun under the cover, and a little short intended for Frank Maroff, number 82.
He's been with Saskatchewan at the beginning of the year.
But he's picked up 709 since joining the Tiger Cats. The fake to Hall as Taylor goes to his left, throwing on the run. Lee Knight out near the 40, and that'll be enough for a Ticat first down with no markers anywhere.
36 catches for him. Boy, if you like a blue-collar guy, you gotta love Lee Knight.
Now at the 39, Ticats with another first down. And Taylor with time has Knight again. He's halfway to a first down out near the 45 and surrounded by Pirates down there.
Almost 12 yards a carry, so he gives you production.
Shotgun for Taylor now on 2nd and 3. There are markers down. Taylor to Winfield, first catch of the day. And finally wrestled back.
That run, you know, initially jammed up, but somehow he got through there.
4th carry for 39 yards for Hall. Here's Winfield trying to make it to a first down. He's about a yard shy on the near side. Super season again for Earl.
So they simplified the passing game just enough that everybody seems to understand their role a little better.
This is Taylor on the 8th play of this drive. He has time and an open target. It's Winfield again. Had the feet taken out from under him by Carlton Johnson. And Winfield has another 18 late.
Turnovers and mental mistakes down here lately.
It's first down repeated, 15 yards necessary for the Tiger Cats. Taylor looks for Manny Hazard, and he's back to just across the original line of scrimmage. That's Taylor's 8th completion in 9 attempts.
Catfish King now has 2 Shreveport Bossier.
That's one of the problems the Shreveport secondaries had to endure this year. Teams are completing about 62% of their passes against this secondary. So, you know, Steve Taylor, I mean, he's a quarterback that would look at those statistics and say, boy, I can have a good day against this secondary. And already he's only missed 1 pass. He's 8 for 9, and Shreveport's making it look pretty easy. Always kind of want to take a look at. You're not sure why his production drops off, but Hamilton's been willing to take a look, and he's played well.
On 2nd and 5, Taylor looks to the 1-yard line. Added a couple of Paul Osbaldiston field goals. From the 26, it's first down, and Taylor lost the handle on the football.
loop. And, you know, if you feel like watching the pit today, that's one of the stunts that Shreveport loves to do and that Hamilton's going to have to pick up.
On 2nd and 12, Taylor goes to the far side, and the catch is made by Manny Hazard. Took a pretty good hit from Carlton Johnson. Schmidt had a similar problem a couple of moments ago. It's 1st and 15 again.
Steve Taylor with an awesome start. One of the things he said he'd like to do is to get Larry Thompson involved in the offense early. Felt like that really helps his game, but Thompson has yet to catch a ball.
Although he does have a touchdown when he picked up the fumble and took it in. Looking long, and Thompson spotted that time.
Larry Thompson, Steve Taylor felt like if you don't get him involved early, sometimes you can lose him, and he has yet to catch a ball.
Taylor had to get it away in a hurry, and it was almost picked off.
A lot.
Coming into the game, Nidmo had the 2nd best percentage in the CFL. Ticats looking at 2nd and 3. And Lee Knight makes the catch. He'll have a 1st down. Knight
and make a big contribution to this offense.
He's a real clutch guy. Great in any situation. Taylor looking at 1st and 10. Will he get it away? Not this time. The ball squirts loose. And the Pirates look like they might have recovered. Pirates are suggesting they have.
Not only to make the catch, but to get up and run for a few more extra yards.
Quickly, the Tiger Cats are out at the 50. Taylor, shotgun. Near side, Larry Thompson. Thompson is over 1,000 yards on this season. When you call it a gain of 6 for Thompson. 2nd and 4 for Taylor. On target, but Hazard couldn't hang on. Coverage by Harold Nash. 0-0.
Back into this one, and you know, Hamilton has to pick up the pace a little bit.
Big sequence here for the Pirates defense as Taylor goes to work, looking for Thompson.
Into a lot of 2nd and longs in a hurry.
And this is another one, 2nd and 10. Taylor in trouble. Almost got to a receiver on the far side.
51 seconds. But boy, oh boy, Hamilton has let this game slip away. Those are great numbers, but it doesn't mean a heck of a lot right now when you're involved in a 13-13.
Ticats looking at 2nd and 4. And a minute 1 till halftime. Taylor out across the 30 as Manny Hazard. Hazard was wrapped up by Joe Monfort, number 45.
Shreveport a chance had they been pinned deep in their own territory.
Taylor for Earl Winfield made the catch, and Nash was right with him to force him out.
Well, I don't know. They're going to call roughing here on Harold Nash. I got a bit of a problem with this one at Pancake, so we'll see how both teams react after halftime.
Taylor versus Tolliver. Here's how they stacked up. 190 yards for Steve Taylor, most in the opening quarter. 139 for Tolliver. Both threw a touchdown. Tolliver threw a couple of interceptions.
I think Mike Fairley gave that to them. Dieter Brock just didn't want to change, so he hit the bricks.
Taylor on 2nd and 6. He has his man, but he may be a little short of the 1st down. Monfort with a solid hit on Frank Maroff after he made the catch. No yards penalty. Great field position out across the 45 at the 47. 1st and 10. Steve Taylor to his left. Now the pressure comes. Taylor stands in, fires. Maroff couldn't hang on. Shelton was covering, and he had a little help from Willie White.
There's 2 guys pretty close that can close in and make the play.
Again, the Ticats facing 2nd and long. Scott was leading the charge. Pass on the near side, intended for Winfield. He couldn't make it.
John, as I look at this football game, one of the things that Hamilton really wanted to do offensively was to have Steve Taylor run with the football, and he just has not done it yet. He hasn't attempted one rush. Yeah, he's avoided the rush nicely a few times, but in chatting with Don Southern and Mike Farragelli, the new offensive coordinator, they felt like he really had to give this offense that intangible, but has yet to do so, and I think it's about time he started.
Ticats have great field position at the 51. And here goes Taylor taking off. Little quarterback draw as he went right around the guard on the right side, and exactly what you were talking about, Labor.
Well, I think they have to get into this kind of up and get that paper.
They're looking for autographs. Ticats, 1st and 10, 35. Taylor missed his target, looking for Frank Maroff. And Taylor started so brilliantly, engineering a drive the very first time he got his hands on the football and ending up in the end zone, albeit on a bit of a break. He found Kalen Hall for 55 yards, and then Thompson carried it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And this is where Don Southern has to be thinking maybe change. I mean, Taylor's in there because he gives you some running ability, but if he's not going to use it, then maybe you may think of going to the pure passer, which is Cavillo.
For Winfield, and he's off target again.
And I think this might be Steve Taylor's last series, you know. At some point in time, you know, you like to give a guy the chance to show you he can get the job done, but for a quarter and a half and more now, Steve Taylor has gone cold. And if he's not going to run, I go to the other guy. I mean, that's not a good throw right there.
Only one completion for Taylor in the second half, Leaf. Taylor will get another crack at it. As mentioned, just one completion in the second half, and 3 minutes, 11 seconds remain in the third quarter. He started off with a real hot hand.
Wow, one time I remember him at 8 for 9, and things were going pretty smoothly, but all of a sudden, you know, they've gone cold.
Ticats from the 33, first down. Taylor shotgun, far side, he's on target. Larry Thompson. Thompson makes a pretty good run after the reception.
After it.
First down, second half for the Tiger Cats, a 12-yard gain. Here's another one. This Maroff, number 82. Maroff wrapped up by Joe Montfort.
So all of a sudden, when the pressure's really on Steve Taylor to get something going, he makes a couple of good reads in a row, and he completes a couple of nice passes. Shreveport sitting back in his zone, and you know his receivers are finding the soft spots. That time Maroff found it nicely.
Back-to-back 12-yard gains. Almost another one, Kalen Hall.
That's probably the hardest ball Steve Taylor's thrown today.
Ticats at the 53 of the Pirates, facing 2nd and 10. Taylor looks one way and then looked into double coverage. Taylor remains in the ballgame at quarterback. Little fake there, and Taylor takes off. This is the extra dimension he brings to the Tiger Cats, and Leaf has been begging him to run this afternoon.
Well, I really have, and you know, even at the end of that play, Anthony Shelton, the linebacker, came up to make the tackle, and Steve Taylor, you know, went helmet to helmet, and Shelton lost that one. So, hey, this is good rollout. You got the option to throw, and then you have the option to do this. Watch the end. Whoa. Hey, guess who goes backwards? It's Shelton, not Taylor. That's kind of unusual for a quarterback to be able to do that.
And the quarterback, Taylor, grabs an even 10 for a first down at the 45. Now he'll throw as a man open. That's Manny Hazard. And stopped by Carlton Johnson.
That roll-up zone, you've got to attack that area with your slot backs.
Taylor has the first down on 2nd and inches. Early in his second CFL season out of Washington. Shotgun on 1st and 5. And Kalen Hall, 1st and 5. It's now 2nd and long again. Taylor stands into the last possible second, goes looking for Thompson, and it's picked off. Hang on, he didn't hang on, but Evans did make the play. Jim Trimble and Ralph Sazio, and an Ottawa under Frank Clare. He's learned from some of the great coaches in the game in North America. Here's Steve Taylor, and he underthrows Earl Winfield.
One of the few times that Shreveport this afternoon has brought more than 4 people. They brought 6 people that time. Very uncharacteristic for them.
2nd and 10, Tiger Cats. Hamilton 46. Little pressure on Taylor here. And there's a little heat. As Taylor looked to the near sidelines and found Maroff, there's a marker down
Taylor's pass
in the middle of the
complete to
field.
Frank Maroff.
You know what they might be calling? An illegal chop block on Reggie Rogers. Well, they're going to call.
That was Steve Taylor for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in 1995 versus the Shreveport Pirates. Back in those days, the CFL did expand to the United States and had several teams, and that lasted a couple seasons, but they did go on to lose that game. As I said, that Taylor was replaced by Anthony Cavillo, who Cavillo went on to pass for only 80,000 yards in his career. But let's stick to Steve Taylor. In his 8-year career in the Canadian Football League, ran for about 1,347 yards, a 7.5 average, which is nice, 7 touchdowns. His passing was 55% completion for his career, 5,924 yards, a long of 87, 38 touchdowns, 39 interceptions, and a rating of 75.3. So overall, he had a pretty decent career in Canada. Best year was the 95 Hamilton team, where he threw for 2,469 yards and 13 touchdowns. Had a 78 rating that year, which in today's standards is very below average. Back then, you know, if you were in the close to 80 range, you were considered average. But in my opinion, he looked pretty good back there for a little while there. But anyways, that was some highlights that I found for you. I hope you enjoyed them. Please like and share. Comment below on players you'd like me to do a feature on, and if you haven't seen highlights of them. And thanks for watching.